What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content from me. I talk about Bitcoin Cash on the regular, you guys. You know I do. Shout out to the Dragon Riders. Shout out to the House of the Dragon. We are sitting at $442 right now, you guys. Let's get into this. Again, hit that like button. Subscribe. Let's get it. You know, if it wasn't for this, I just kind of noticed this because I was coincidentally skimming. But if it wasn't for this, if we just like took that out, right? It's like you've got this ascending. It's like an ascending triangle, isn't it? Like it kind of looks like an like a large ascending triangle, just without this little thing here. It's got a blemish on it. Anyways, I do believe that we've broken this right here. Yes, it looks. Nope, that's not what I was going for. It looks like we've broken that. Yes. That does not mean that we are condemned to zero or prices below 300. It could, but I don't think it does. What I would pay more attention to is not the diagonal lines, but the horizontal lines, right? Like this area, when we break above it, we will likely move up. This area here, when we break below it, we would likely move down, right? Closing low of a very, very big candle, right? Of our low candle of this consolidation phase here. Found support on it, tipped it there, whatever, closed at it for resistance here a couple times. Bounced right off it there. That's where I got that line from. And then obvious, this top line I feel like is pretty obvious too. One could make the argument that more relatively speaking, this is a more appropriate price target. It doesn't line up with anything back here, but one could make that argument, but again, that's where we get that like $430 to $400 area from. Essentially, what I'm getting at, you guys, is I believe we are in somewhat of a horizontal consolidation phase. It might look like we've broken this uptrend or whatever you want to call this, right? And we have broken this line, but I don't care about diagonal lines as much as I do horizontal lines. These lines are more important. If we break below this line, that's when I will crap my pants. Right now, I'm not worried about it at all. And even then, a little crapping of the pants is good, man, because then you just get to buy at cheaper prices. As long as you don't sell, you keep those pants on and you don't let them go. I don't know, man. I'm going off the rails. What I'm trying to say, guys, is I think we're going to go a little bit lower. And when I say a little bit, I very much do mean a little bit. If we take this relative low here to the relative high from this area that we rejected, you can see the 1272 is right at $429, like just below there. We're very close to it now. I would expect that at least at a minimum is what we would see, if not potentially just below 420, even at 406. This area literally on the relative fibs just encompasses that price action horizontal support areas that we're looking to find support at. So it is very characteristic of Bitcoin Cash to see slightly higher lows. So if we did go to the I deleted it, damn it. If we did go to the 1272, it is just slightly above this white line, which would be just slightly above these lows. You know, it could happen. We really might see a $428.82 low, like to the T. But it also could, you know, it really could go lower. But you go back in time, you can see just like slightly higher low right there, right? Dramatically higher low here, but then slightly higher low. And then over here, slightly higher low. And actually like a double bottom, then slightly higher lows, slightly higher lows. I don't know. It could be right there. Looking at the daily RSI. The daily RSI does look postured to the downside. We have broken this little hope of an uptrend that we had. We've broken that. We are below the 40, the bearish area of control. We're showing weakness. We're at the points where we would make some moves down. Making moves down does not mean they have to be 20% moves. It can take time and just be several days of small moves, and we can make our way down to the oversold zone, find support, and then bounce up. Last time we bounced right off it. This time we dipped into it a little bit and then bounced off it, right? This time we dumped hardcore into it, but I'm not expecting that. It is going to be, in my opinion, more something like this, or more something like this one here, if not potentially even a little bit higher. We don't have to interact with the oversold zone. We could find support just above it. That is possible as well, but time will tell. Time will tell. At any rate, I do think we have lower to go over the next day, maybe even over the next week. And once we find that low, the area that we're looking to break is up here at about 523. Let's just say 525. We want to break 525. When that happens, then we can start talking about higher prices above 700, above 800, even above $1,000. But until we're above 525, I'm not excited, right? I'm just patiently waiting, I think, as we all should be. But none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I got nothing else to say, guys. We're just being boring, right, as we have been. Other than this like moment of excitement, we've kind of just been in this general phase since March, right? We've been very boring. So at any week now, any time, we are going to see our next leg up. It's when things are boring that they're about to do well. But that doesn't mean it has to happen this week. It doesn't mean it has to happen even 3 weeks from now. But soon enough, man. Even if it happens 2 months from now, that we finally take this high out, that's still a very short amount of time. So, however, I do think that we'll take this high out probably in July. I had real hopes that we would do it sometime this month, but I'm starting to doubt that now. Maybe I should reword that. We could still take this high out during this month. I was more expecting earlier this month that we would be in this price range by the end of this month, not just taking the high out, but being in this price range. I'm starting to think we will be in this price range sometime next month is my thoughts. So we could break the high this month, right? What would that be? I'm drawing out into August. Man, we would have to see, because that's the 1st of July right there. I mean, that would imply over the next, like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Over the next 3.5 weeks, we would have to see a 90% pump or higher, which, you know, is definitely possible for Bitcoin Cash. But to break the high, the current high, we'd only have to see a 62% pump, which is still a lot to ask, but I think that's more manageable. I don't know. I would like to see us, you know, the sooner that we get above this high, the better, of course, especially like as we're getting to crunch time as the cycle goes on. But I'm not worried about it. I think everything's going to be fine. I'm just rambling at this point. So hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.